Okay then. What? Hang on. See? I got like two ring lights on the go. What's going on? Right, tell you what I'm going to do. So, let's go and see what's happening before people join in. Lives? Okay, so it's live. Good. Right, now, until people... Ah! Rich, hello. Uh, Typically, sometimes I go live, and now that I've got an extra ring light, I've got one behind my monitor there, and I got this new ring light, and it still doesn't make very much difference. I mean, that's kind of, I'm gonna bounce it off the wall and just leave it like that. Anything interesting? Did you go to the Comic Con recently? The one that I can never go to. I don't really want to go to any. Right off the idea coming up, which I'll tell that's me. I put my Zaphod Beeblebrox cosplay up for sale on eBay because it's not finished, and I can't see myself getting in, round to doing it. So I put it up for sale, and two viewers now. See if we have a lurker. Right, me live. Okay, and I'm going to close some stuff down. Okay, we're back. Let me know how buffery it is because I've closed down. I've closed down all other windows and other browsers. I've changed over to. Seems to be working. Yeah, okay. I've changed over to Wi-Fi instead of mobile data. I can't work out which one is better. Buffering stopped. Fingers crossed. Good. So there are two viewers. I don't know whether it means because I'm watching on my streaming software counts as one. I don't know. I don't know how it is. Oh god, last couple of weeks have been crazy. I've been sort of going to bed at like 4 a.m. between 12 and 4 a.m. and then I can't get anything done all day because I'm just super tired. And in my spare time, I'm making, these. You see that? Why is that? That one. It's got a lot of painting left to be done on that one. Same with this one. It's not staying bright red at the bottom. It's going to have some plenty of black and stuff on it. But my plan is to sell them in advance of the film. Sell them to people. Say that one will be like a $5. So you basically put your name and address on the back, give us a $5, and then we send it to you after we finish filming it. I'm just wondering if that'll work. I don't feel like I should be doing a Kickstarter because there's too many people don't like me, basically. Yeah, Joey's asking for people's money again. Yeah, I'm not forcing people to. Do you know what I mean? But I'm gonna make this film somehow. And again, like with Mummified, which I'll have copies of Mummified for sale. Paid my actors, paid my camera crew, paid travel expenses, paid for food, paid for assistant, paid for sound, paid for editing. Didn't pay me. Everyone got paid except me. Cost me $5,000, Mummified. And so far on Off-World Survivors, I've spent about £700-800 so far on costume, props, travel, eBaying stuff, and I've got 30 lengths of wood upstairs to build this set. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I think it'll be really exciting. Yeah, here's a piece for you, Rich. Let's see if I can turn this around. Hang on. Slightly better. I'm going to be filling all these holes in, by the way. But yeah, that's a big wall piece that's nearly finished. Let's say I'm blocking out all these holes. And also, I was lucky to find another Nerf rifle. These are cool, that. Which will be painted up and modified and everything into the off-road. They do look nice when they're painted black, I'll give you that. We have an email? Oh, it's okay. It's a friend of mine. Green screening them for displays or going the old practical effects route. Yeah, basically the all of those holes in the big piece, if that's what you're talking about, that's going to be for I want to have a load of, like, because they're going on the wall of the set, I want like cables and stuff hanging out of them. Thought that'd be quite cool. There will be a full size set upstairs in my loft room, a kind of almost like a tent shape like that. So I'm building a wooden frame to basically go around the inside of my loft room. And who's that? Oh, it's David again. Yeah, so I tell you what I normally do. I normally put the big light on, as it were. Hang on. That's a little bit better. See what happens if I turn this off. Camera's doing this weird kind of compensation thing, isn't it? Which I don't know how to fix. Yeah, so basically I'm building this wooden frame, the full size of my loft room, and cladding the walls with hardboard and everything, and sticking loads of these all the way down the walls and the sides and everything, and putting a little bed in there, and all that. And as you probably know by now, Tom is coming up from Plymouth to play a small role, and Harrod's in the film. She's just the best, and I'm waiting to hear back from one or two other actors who want to be say they want to be involved, but have not responded to me in weeks. What are you supposed to take from that? I don't know. This is getting on my nerves. I bought a flipping extra light thing. Was that better? It's not bad, although I've got nowhere to put it. I'll sit it on top of my printer. I think I'd have this. See, no, that's rubbish. Oh, that's not bad. What? Can't win. Can't win with these things. Where it all goes wrong. Did you see my black hole robot? He's there. I'll bring him over in a bit. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm waiting for actors and stuff to get back to me. Not nice to be ghosted. Well, do you know what? I've been ghosted by 3 people in the last couple of years. All female. And the worst thing about it is the people who have ghosted me. Thing is, if you're ghosted by somebody who doesn't like you, you just go, okay, fair enough, that's kind of no skin off my nose. But it's people who I thought, well, we haven't fallen out or anything, and all of a sudden they disappear, and you go, wow, was it really that bad that you couldn't talk to me? Because I'm not aware I've done anything. Maybe I'm completely, not one of those people who just aren't self-aware and not realizing how bad I am to people. But I don't think I am. But yeah, I got ghosted. So by 3 people. One of them, I spent a lot of time and money to help them out with making their dream come true of being basically, a musician and a singer, and gone. Thanks for the studio time. I'm off. Anyway, let's not go into that. We have 4 viewers. Hello, 4 viewers. So we've got 3 lurkers and Rich. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, so there's a convention coming up in the Angel Hotel in Cardiff. It's called Cardiff Collectors Con, run by the guys who run Barry Collector-Con. Barry was good fun actually. There's some good guests coming. Mike from the Young Ones. He also played a Sontaran most recently, and he was he Dave something from Bottom? Dave Hedgehog, I think. There you go. He's lurking. Hello, Matt. Have you had your post yet at all? Anyway, this convention, do you know, I didn't want to go. Candy Jar's going, and they're promoting my books, which have been newly printed, new editions. So I've got to go, and they want me to possibly do some announcements and stuff, which I will do, but I won't be doing the Jack Sparrow thing because it's impossible to do Jack Sparrow and have a table. No one's interested. So I'll have a table for Off-World Survivors. You could just about see the flag on the wall there. I got this flag which is 150 centimeters by 90 for about £3, printed with my logo and stuff on it. It's great. I thought I would have got ripped off and got something about this big, but no, it's actually really decent. Yeah. I mean, thing is, man, I'm getting the anxiety because there may be people on the scene who I don't want to talk to. People who, like I say, may have ghosted me, stuff like that, and I just don't need the hassle. I'd rather stay away from it. So I'm going to be on edge, especially as I won't have like a mask on or anything. I'm just going to feel like I'm on edge all weekend, and I guess I got to do 2 days. No, don't cover anything in pizza grease, man. Whatever you do. Let's have a look. Talking of the messages that just came in, I don't know if you've noticed, you two and the 2 lurkers. Yeah, it's really noisy. I've got windows open to keep the place cool. I'm doing a book. I'm not writing a book. I'm actually managing a book. I don't know if you've all seen that before. Where would I find this? I'm just checking in my... is that it? Right. Let's open up the window thing, the screen capture. Oh, here we go. Ooh. How do I make that a little bit bigger? Oh, maybe it's Alt. There we go. So this is the cover I've been working on. Not just a cover. It's called Imperfect Specimen. It was called Made for Each Other, but although it's a decent enough title, I felt it needed a slightly better title, and it needed something that felt a bit more sci-fi. So yeah, I read this as a favour to a friend of mine who knows David Jandrell, and said, David's never written a sci-fi before. He's written 8 books, but none of them are sci-fi. So can you read it and tell me if it's any good? And I read it, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So, I said, we got to get this published somehow. So I've talked nice to Candy Jar and other people, and I'm currently going through the edit. It's a really good sci-fi book. David Jandrell is just turned 70, and like I say, he's written 8 books in the past. Most of them are Welsh-based sort of comedic books, but not stories, more kind of like what was the one, Welsh Valleys Humour, and things like not Tidy Towns, but something, just funny things to spot in Wales, etc. Little sort of witty books, but he wanted to do something of a story type. So we did this. I'll read the blurb up here in case you can't read it. It'll tell you what's going on. Exiled, alone, unfit for Earth. David never asked to be judged. Labelled unproductive and cast out by a society that values conformity over compassion, he finds himself on a distant planetoid, a lush, untouched Eden where no one expects him to survive, let alone thrive. But David is not alone. An AI presence, curious and evolving, makes contact. He calls her Natalie. As they explore the strange beauty of their world, a bond forms, delicate, complex, and profoundly human. Together they uncover secrets buried deep in the soil and the sinister side of this paradise. Secrets that hint at a larger design and a growing threat. When a plan to return to Earth is formulated, David is faced with impossible choices, and Natalie, shaped by her time with him, must decide what to do with the information that she's gathered. What follows is not a return. It is a reckoning. So, basically, what I liked about this... Hang on. Close that. This guy David in the book, it's way in the future, and he lives on Earth, and it opens with the fact that he's just been told that his parents died 79 minutes ago from some virus, and because he's on the spectrum, society, the government, or whoever runs the Earth, they're basically saying to him, "You're not useful to the human race anymore. We don't need you. We're not feeding you for nothing. You can't bring any value, blah, 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 blah." So he gets offered something called a level 7 humane extraction. And he's like, "Oh, what's that then?" He goes, "Oh, well, basically, we'll put you on a spaceship, send you to the orbit of Mercury, where you can, we'll be using the ship to drop off unwanted waste and stuff into the sun." And he's like, "Okay, so I just fly it and I do that, is it?" And they go, "No, you'll be unconscious the whole time." And he's like, "What? When am I conscious?" And they said, "Well, you probably won't be, because at the end of the day it's all done automatically, and we might wake you up if we need something to be checked." And he goes, "Well, okay, so when do I come back?" And they said, "Well, what's going to happen is once the ship has dropped off all its waste in the sun, the ship's orbit will deteriorate and crash on the surface of Mercury." And he's like, "So I'll die?" And he said, "Well, you probably will." And he's like, "Hang on, so you're killing me?" And they're like, No, we're not killing you. We're not terminating you. We're just putting you on this mission." He's, "Yeah, but I'm going to die anyway." So you can see that no one really cares about him, and he's like, "What am I going to do?" And all of a sudden, everything goes black. And he wakes up on, as I just said, a very nice, lush place, like grass and trees and beauty and fresh air and everything. And he's like, "Hang on, this isn't the spaceship they want to send me on. Where am I?" And that's just one of the curveballs. You think he's going on this mission, but then he doesn't go on that mission. He wakes up on this really nice, beautiful planet. And that's where he comes across an AI that he decides to call Natalie. And they together find out a bit about each other and a bit about where they are and what's going on. And it's constantly taking like right turns and left turns. It's throwing you for a curveball all the time. I read it all the way through. The chapters are really short. There's like 2 or 3 page chapters. That's all they are. But there are 34 of them. Dude, it's good. I mean, I read it and I was like, okay. And when it gets to the end, it's a gut punch, and you go, "Oh wow, my God." It's cool. Again, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but this is such a good thing. I thought I've got to get this. Got to get this published. It's cool. And if at all possible, maybe we could do an audio. But do you know what I liked about it? It reminded me of like an old school sci-fi film, like before Star Wars. Things like Charlton Heston did the Omega Man, which Will Smith remade as I Am Legend. The original book was called I Am Legend anyway, but Charlton Heston did the Omega Man in the 70s. And you got films like Dark Star, and you got films like THX 1138. Even Moon. This book reminds me of Moon a little bit. It's so inventive and weird and surprising at every turn. I mean, I was like, I'll skip through this, and I got really into it. And I honestly, I read the whole thing in about 3 days. And that's just on a Word document now. So I'm going through the Word document with the author, David, and I'm helping him fix stuff. Yeah, Moon is a great film, isn't it? Sam Rockwell, directed by David Bowie's son, Duncan Jones. And really nice miniatures. That buggy thing he's got, the six-wheel buggy, that's all miniature, models rather than CGI. And old Kevin Spacey plays the what was the robot name? I forget what its name was. Never mind. Good film though. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing in my spare time on top of Candy Jar stuff. Talking to Candy Jar, they're down the shed this week. Normally the sheds are right in the middle of town, opposite the Halifax, in the Hayes, but this time they're down Cardiff Bay. So what are we? August? Oh, maybe I don't know if the Bay Beach is still there. Obviously, I don't do that anymore. But there's Candy Jar has a shed where they're selling books, and I'm going to be down there all day on Sunday. And if Matt's still watching, I really need to get down to Cardiff Museum, because the 50 years of I don't know if it's 50 years. I know it's 50. I know hip hop is 50 years old, but there's an exhibition about Welsh hip hop, and there's one or two tiny little things that connect me to it. There isn't a big display all about best shot. That says a lot anyway. I remember adding to the Best Shot Wikipedia page to explain what we did and how we won our deal, and going on tour with E17 and the records and someone deleted it all. So there you go. Shows you what a lot of people think of Best Shot in the grand scheme of things. Everyone's quick to praise MC Eric, who I have met once or twice. But he went and did Technotronic, and which admittedly was a house act, but we did 2 rap tunes that get into the charts, and now we get deleted off Wikipedia because somebody doesn't like us. That ain't fair. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, let me show you this. Again, I did a video on this, didn't I? A couple of days ago. This guy's done a super nice job. Looking at that slight dark patch there, that kind of tells me it is a spray can job. But if it is, it's a really cleverly done. There's not. It looks like it's almost what do you call it? It's almost airbrushed, but it's done really well. And props to the guy who made it. It's really nice. I would probably, if you look at the ones in the film, I think they're a little bit more glossy than this, but I'm not going to get out a can of gloss and spray it. I'm going to leave it exactly as it is. It's a kind of a matte finish, but look at the size of it next to my head. It's huge. It's very Darth Vader inspired in it, with the cheeks and the thing and the angles, but it's very cool. It's very cool. Go over there and don't fall off the table. So, yeah. Weirdly, I put a post up on Instagram and on Facebook and stuff, saying if anyone wanted. Usually we have about 7 or 8 people. I'm 26 minutes into this live. It's got to turn that one of these lights off. Oh, go on. Let's try it. Let's take out that one. Ooh. No, I'll leave it on. Yeah, thing is, Matt, with the exhibition, Captain wrote to me and asked me if I... Oh, it's gone dark again. Captain wrote to me and asked me if I'd write a piece about how, especially up the valleys where I am, how we got all into it from breakdancing onwards. And I wrote him about 1,000 words. And he did ask me if had anything to donate to the exhibition. And in my cabinet here, I've got like rope chains and stuff. But it just wasn't worth the risk. If they go missing or someone says, "Oh, these are quite nice, I'm having these," what do I get out of that? It's like I'm not going to get compensated. I'm going to get insurance money. It'll be like, ha 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 ha. Sorry, mate, they weren't walkies. I'm not accusing anyone of trying to nick them, but they're fun things, which is why I like them. And if I wanted to buy new rope chains, you can buy them online, and they're not cheap. They're not gold, but they're certainly not cheap. And I couldn't be sure. There was no guarantee that they would be extremely safe, Mind you, my artwork is there. The 2 records by Johnny B and Keltec, The Name and the Dreamweaver EP, so my artwork's on there. I think, again, no matter what you think of Best Shot, no matter what anyone thinks of Best Shot, we're still in the Guinness Book of Hit Singles as a 5-piece Wales male rap group. Not pop group, not house group, not a producer, but a 5-piece male rap group. And if that makes us a boy band, bleh, then you've got to call bloody Public Enemy a boy band, because it's the same thing. It's like 5 guys, is it? Chuck, Flav, Griff, Terminator X, who's not with them anymore, obviously, and well, the S1Ws. It's like they're a boy band then, because it's a bunch of guys who rap, and that's what we were. So, still a rap group, admittedly on the poppy side of things, of course. Not for want of trying. Back in the day, before we got signed as Best Shot, I was having conversations with so many record labels, G Street, Music of Life. Even people like I think it was Epic and Island Records and all these kind of things. And who was the other ones? G Street was the main one. Music of Life, I was constantly chatting to Simon Harris and Chris France, I think it was. And at one point, me and my mate nearly got signed by a management company. I've probably told this story before. Run by Stuart Copeland. I'm going to get this right. Is it Stuart Copeland or Andy Summer? Both from the Police. I think it was Stuart Copeland. He's a musician. He's still like a composer and stuff. But I sent a demo tape of our songs off to this company, this management company. And this guy rang us back and said, "Don't send any more tapes out. I'm waiting for Stuart to come back from the States because I think we want to sign you as an act." And we were jumping around the room. This was after Best Shot had lost their. This was after Best Shot had lost our deal, so I thought we were going to get signed up by Stuart Copeland's management company, and we didn't hear anything for a week or two. Contacted the guy I was speaking to, and he said, he's passed. I'm like, oh, for goodness sake. So that was like close, well, that's back in the day when stuff was done. Oh yeah, you're writing a book then, are you? I'm sure I remember you telling me about writing a book about the sort of hip hop side of stuff. The thing is with Best Shot, it's like any band. I mean, if you got Take That or flipping, or even Public Enemy or Salt and Pepper or NWA, and ask everyone, you're going to get 5 different stories. My publisher have said to me about, have you thought of writing a Best Shot story? The rise and fall of a pop rap group in the 90s. And the only way you could do it is to have all 5 of us tell our story and sort of compare and contrast them all, because we've all got different things. And the problem is it will start more trouble than it's worth. I would say things happen this way. Someone else in the band would say things happen that way, and they would say that I'm wrong, and I would say that that's not quite right, and they'd be embellishing, and there's the truth, there's the lies, and there's something in the middle. There's what's in the middle. Let's have a quick look here. Why do people send me messages and voice notes and stuff when, the second I'm blimmin'? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, when they know I'm online. So, still on 3 viewers, which sucks a bit, really. But what I'm probably going to do is, I'm probably going to leave this video. I'm going to stop dead on an hour because, what bugs me is I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, right? And your analytics say as soon as I get 1,000, you've got to you basically, once you satisfy all their different criteria, you can qualify for paid ads and monetization and stuff. But you need to have a certain number of, like, was it something like 2,000 watch hours or something? I'm on about 1,200 watch hours and footage. But the only time I get followers is if I do a Doctor Who video. Otherwise, people just don't seem that bothered. But the problem is, since I've started, getting more followers from the Doctor Who videos that I've done recently in the last couple of months, I've had lots more people giving me thumbs down. It doesn't matter. It's still a little engagement with the algorithm, or whatever you want to call it. But it's a bit of a pain in the proverbial, because at the end of the day, it comes with the territory. But I don't want to start making I don't want to just talk about Doctor Who all the time. I could do, but I probably won't enjoy it. And you can't win anyway. If I say something nice about Doctor Who, I get people give me a thumbs down saying it's not great, it's rubbish. And if I say anything critical about Doctor Who, I get a thumbs down from people saying, are you kidding? Doctor Who's the bestest thing ever in the world ever. And we all know the truth is somewhere in the middle. So yeah, what to do. On my analytics on YouTube, it tells you how many people regularly come back to watch your videos without subscribing, and it's gone up to about 400 people. So if I can get 482 more subscribers, I'll hit the big 1,000. But if I can get just 2 at this point, I'm up to 520, and that'd be pretty good. I'm just going to refresh this chat and see what happens. No, nothing's happened. So what else can I tell you? Just check my notes in case I... What? Oh, the only thing I haven't really talked about is Off-World Survivors, which I've talked about a little bit. Essentially, I'm doing the rifle raffle, so these are one of the prop rifles, which you can do that too, and that kind of thing, and all the control panel stuff go away. The control panel. Yeah, keep talking Who if it helps. And again, Rich, I can't force myself to do constant Doctor Who videos every week, because everyone else is doing it, and there are other people who have got better production, better knowledge, everything else. And I'm just another farty talking about, well, in my opinion, So I'd like to keep it mixed. This is why I'm doing, like, I build stuff and film stuff and all other things, and books and whatever, and sculpts and all that kind of stuff. The Blake Seven stuff, yeah, it's tricky because Blake Seven, as you know, has got a much older fan base. Obviously, because of recent Doctor Who, especially Russell T Davies's second run at it, which hasn't been particularly successful, I would say. There are, newbie fans who don't know anything about Blake Seven, unfortunately. Like I said, last week or the week before, I missed out. See? I was kicking the cable from under my foot and I pulled it towards me. Oh, what a mistake at the maker. Maybe we should clip that and turn that into a little GIF. See, it's got a thing on it, and I'm not using it properly. That's why. Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves. There we go. Now it's... Is it not? This is rubbish. Stay. Anyway, yeah, so the... I didn't get to go to the Blake 7 convention, which apparently was good fun. But it's an old crowd because a lot of the guests are in their sort of 60s and 70s. Some, I think, probably in their 80s. And the fans kind of, unless they do a nice reboot now, then it's not going to have a young crowd. It's like the Prisoner is even older. You know, it's a 60s thing. And the Prisoner fan club is people from my age and up, so 50s and up, you know. Why is people still talking to me? Go away. I'm live. Yeah, so I will probably talk about Blake 7 because the second season has come out on Blu-ray, which I can't afford just yet, but I do want it. I've got the first season. And I will probably do... I've done a video before about why I like Blake 7. I think last time I did another one, seeing as I've got like 300 more subscribers or 400 more subscribers now. So I might revisit that and talk about Blake 7. As you probably know, one of my goals is to try and get a role with Big Finish, playing either the Master, Roger Delgado, or Avon from Blake 7, because they haven't really replaced Paul Darrow as Avon. I know of a guy who works for Big Finish who does a good Avon voice, and the same with Roger Delgado. They've got about 10 different people playing the Master, but not that version of the Master, the original Roger Delgado. But when they have used Roger Delgado, they've used John Culshaw, and I like John Culshaw, but I tell you this for nothing, I think I got him beat when it comes to impersonating Roger Delgado. His Delgado is okay, but I think mine is a little bit better. So, I mean, why don't they? I mean, Big Finish, news came out, was it last year or the year before, people saying Big Finish are in financial difficulty. I don't know if they still are. But I was like, hey, look, do some new Blake 7. Do some Roger Delgado with the Third Doctor, and I'll do a couple on the super cheap mates rates, because at the end of the day, it's not about paid work. It's about getting my foot in the door with Big Finish and that era, because they've been using a guy up until recently called Jacob Dudman, a young lad who does the best Matt Smith impression you've ever heard, and he's done loads of 11th Doctor audios using his phenomenal Matt Smith voice. He's also done some Peter Capaldi stuff, but his voice isn't as good as Peter Capaldi. But still, yeah, I know what you think about the Master. Again, my problem with Doctor Who fan films is you've got to spend a heck of a lot of money on them, as my mate Philip Roy, who's doing Doctor Who and the Scorpion, you've got to spend so much money. I'm sure he's up to like 20 grand, 25 grand or something on his. He's going feature length as well with it. But then you can't do anything with it. Once you're 25 grand down, you could put it online for free and say no one's profited from this, but dang, he's got to hope he gets a job out of it. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to knock on his door. And I say this with the utmost respect, but no matter how good your Doctor Who fan film is and your performance is, I don't think that's how the BBC will cast people as the Doctor. You know, I'd be very happy for him if he put the film out and all of a sudden he said, "Guess what? I've just been cast as a new Doctor." I'd be over the moon. But let's face it, that probably ain't gonna happen. So you know, a few years ago, back in 1995. Of course, that's a good 30 years, is it? 95, 2005, something like that. Me and my mate were living in a flat in Cathays, and we wrote a feature-length synopsis for a Cybermen fan film. So it's kind of like Aliens. It's a bunch of people on a mining planet, and they're all miners, and they come across a injured Cyberman, but he looks different to the rest, and he is actually quite sympathetic. But he's saying the rest of the Cybermen are coming for this planet. They're coming for whatever they can take, whether it's mining materials or people to turn into Cybermen, and they're on their way. And those Cybermen are the 80s ones that we all remember, with the much more silver Peter Davison era Cybermen. And that would have been a good film, but again, it would have cost you a heck of a lot of money. There is an argument that if I said I was doing a Cybermen fan film, you might get some Who fans throwing some money to it, but then you'll also get Who fans hating on it before I even start, because it's not done the way they want it. It's a bit of a minefield, really. So yeah, this week's been a killer for me. I've managed to get a heck of a lot of work done. Yeah. Honestly, do you know what? The thing with feature films, when I was doing Bloody Students, my whole thing was, I'm not doing a short film because short films are rubbish, and you can enter festivals, but you can't get them distributed. You can't get a distributor or anything. There's no point. If you're going to shoot a short film, you may as well shoot a feature. And the way I am now, I've gone completely off the idea of doing feature films, because it's a heck of a lot of work for a long time, and paying a lot, paying people to do all their stuff to get a feature film done. And looking at the way Offworld is now, it hasn't generated any profit. We're still paying off the distributors' spending budget or whatever. So, I'm not going to hold my breath for any money from Offworld. And even if any money did come in, the first people who get paid from any of that are the actors. Yes, I am an actor in the film, so I guess I count for a little bit. But producers and me as a director don't get paid. You'd think I'd get like actor fee, director fee, producer fee, writer fee, and any other hats I wore. But I'd just be happy for actor, producer kind of thing. Never mind director. I think I've been through this many times. The fact that I don't really count Offworld as a decent example of me being a director, because I don't feel I directed it. Anyway, we went from 4 to 2 viewers, which is very strange. I know maybe Richard's gone. He just said he'd be back. Yeah, I think maybe I should do a Doctor Who video about the wilderness years, because we're entering into the wilderness years again. And to be honest, what was I going to say? To be honest, what was I going to say? The wilderness years. Yeah. To be honest, I don't think it's coming back for, at the minimum, a year, but it's more likely to be 2 or 3 years. I think these hiatus things will last about 3 years. It's not going to be an 18-year hiatus like it was in 1989. But the BBC have just launched a show called the Doctor Who Show or something, the Who Show. And it's like, you haven't got a TV program to promote. You're doing a fan show. But they're trying to keep the interest in Doctor Who until they know what's happening with it. And nobody seems to know. And if they do know, they're lying, or they're not saying anything. But the rumours and the rumour mill is on full speed. There's people saying they're working on it. People say they know people work on it, and all this sort of stuff. And there's no facts. There's no 100% solid facts. But I think it's fair to say we're not going to see Doctor Who for a couple of years. And I honestly don't mind. I was getting a bit cheesed off with how it, well, at least to me, in my own opinion, it was going not very well. Just because you throw a lot of money at it doesn't mean it's very good. I mean, look at some of the oldest, cheesiest, lowest budget classic Doctor Who stuff. Still brilliant. Doesn't matter how little it cost or how wobbly the sets are. It's, Blake Seven is another one. Blake Seven was made, as I always say, with the change left over down the back of the sofa once they'd finished filming Doctor Who. And they said, we've got some money left over, so I'll make a Blake 7 episode. It was even cheaper, but it was just great. My phone's making noises again. Saved by the bell. That's Richard Oliver. Richard saying... Oh, it's to do with Offworld. Oakley dokley. Yeah. I put up a post, you may have seen it earlier, where I said, just a wee reminder, if you enjoy mean-spirited memes and funnies that involve racism, sexism, xenophobia, and trans homophobia, keep it to yourself. Or keep sending them to me so I can block you. Your choice is no skin off my nose. Yeah, people have been sending me the... there's a whole section of the public now who like to put up things that are basically... they were funny back in the day. Two Ronnies, Little Britain. But we've all evolved a little bit. Well, and they were funny back then, but it was funny, but it was problematic funny. It was like, the stuff that you... it's not that you can't get away with it. It's more a case of it's a bit mean. And racism is a big thing with me. And in recent years, the sexism and the transphobia and stuff grates. If you're going to make these jokes and ridicule people, thing is, it's always done by people who wouldn't dare say it to someone's face. So the people who send me the racist stuff wouldn't dare say it to any of my black friends to their face. But I thought it was funny. Oh, suddenly you've clammed up. And it's the same thing with homophobia, transphobia. They wouldn't say it to their face. So it's like, don't tell me it's universally funny if you wouldn't dare bloomin' say it to someone, in person. And it just rubs me up the wrong way. I don't want to hear it. I'm not saying you can't have a laugh, but if it's mean and it's the laugh at someone else's expense, go sod yourself. I'm all for being an equal opportunity piss taker, and at the same time, it depends how you take the piss out of people. Black comedians will talk about the differences between black and white people. But when white comedians talk about differences between black and white people, it always goes down into ridiculing people for being black and stereotypical Jim Davidson nonsense, Which, yes, it was funny back in the 70s. People thought it was funny and, but was it really funny for black people? Or are we living in times where people are a bit more enlightened now and maybe you shouldn't be punching down or you shouldn't be, ridiculing people just for being a different colour or a different sexuality or anything like that? There are jokes. If you were to quote like a modern joke that had a black guy in it, it wouldn't be derogatory. There are jokes that are, fine to tell. But I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I can't really think of it. But if you tried to tell a joke that was more something you'd hear from Jimmy Jones or Jim Davidson or Chubby Brown, then it's just obnoxious and mean. I've really gone off edgelords. Edgelords can be identified generally by the amount of times they like to put the C word in their posts, and in any photo they're always going to flip the bird, stick the middle finger up, and I'm like, oh, stop it. Grow up. There's people who just think they're badasses, basically. And to be honest, the real badasses are people who are just... Remember Iron Man 2? You had Justin Hammer, played by Sam Rockwell. He was such a Tony Stark wannabe, but he was obnoxious with it. But then Tony Stark was a bit cooler. And that's what it is. Edgelords are people who think they're dead cool, but they're actually obnoxious gits who think they're badasses, and I haven't got time for those people. Yes, Kathy Burke said something about, yes, I'm woke, but it doesn't mean I'm a cunt. Yeah, she said, I'd rather be that than being a cunt. And yeah, comedy could punch up. Yeah, punch. I'm all for slagging off the billionaires because they're rich, selfish gits. But if there was a billionaire, if Elon Musk happened to be a black guy, for example, or a gay man or whatever, you could punch up the fact that he's a billionaire, but I wouldn't be punching up or slagging him off because he's gay or black or whatever. It's like we've got to move on as a race, haven't we? We've got to evolve a bit. We've got to get past this nonsense. But then all the gammons come out. Oh, you can't say anything anymore. It's like, well, you can. Oh, you never see this on telly anymore. Well, it's on telly on most channels. Carry on films and stuff. But we just got to question a little bit about the focus of what people think is funny. By the way, if you've just joined us, hello. I see we've had a few more people watching. Listen to me rant on about my problems with edgelords. Thing is, edgelords know what they're doing. They still think it's cool. I don't get it. I mean, why cultivate a personality for yourself that involves you being horrible to everyone and smug and mean-spirited and obnoxious, and then have a go at anyone who doesn't find you funny? I'm like, sorry, it's like, if you choose to be, obnoxious, don't think you're going to win a lot of friends over. And more to the point, you may have friends if you're an edgelord, but you'll have to excuse me because I'm off. Weirdly enough, I can't name names here, but an edgelord I used to know has teamed up with another edgelord, and I think they're working together. I don't know how long that's going to last because obviously they both think they're badasses, so that's just going to implode at some point. They're kind of made for each other. Anyway, rant over. I'm not going to go on about edgelords anymore. Like I say, I'm going to be down Cardiff Bay on Sunday, down the Candy Jar Bookshed. Hopefully flogging a couple of copies of Kangazang, and at least having some fresh air and a day out, because I'm not getting much of a fresh air or a day out at the moment. On Sunday, I don't think I'll be able to get to the museum. Don't even know if it's open on Sunday, is it? But it's also blooming £10 to go to and from Cardiff nowadays, which sucks. And in the next couple of days, I'm going to have another mountain of work. I've had a couple of days off from work because I did 2 weeks of solid work, very late nights, which is why I've got no energy left at the moment. And I got a couple of days off, and now I feel weird having a couple of days off. I feel like should be really busy, but I have been busy on film stuff, etc. Anyway, we're coming up to 56 minutes. I did say I'm going to stop dead on an hour. We've gone down to 4 viewers, so 2 people have just disappeared. Still, I'm going to quickly check in this last 56 minutes. I wonder if... Paul! I was going to message you. I saw your video the other day, and I was thinking, I've got to get hold of Paul, and we'll do a little, collab video if you're up for doing like a Zoom call, and I'll record it. I'll interview you, because it was after I was thinking about, well, I've been a DJ as well. I've done some extra work, and we both own die-cast Dinky or Corgi TARDISes, police boxes, sorry. So how do you fancy a collab type thing? Talking about our likes and dislikes, that would be quite good. Like I say, you've jumped in with 3 minutes to go, because I did say I'd leave it as an hour. I'm just going to quickly check on YouTube right now, see if I've got moved up at all in my subscriber ranking because I'm just trying to get, to 1,000. As you probably know, no, I'm still up on 518. Um, Still up on 518. Oh, problem being, hello, mate. Yeah, exactly. Oh no, I don't own a life-size TARDIS anymore myself. I sold it off to a chap from Mid Wales, and he's done an awesome, really awesome job of it. Um, so that's pretty good. Um, but yes, Paul, we shall sort out a collab because, admittedly, Paul's got a lot more subscribers and quality content than me. Um, so yeah, it's weird, isn't it? You got one six scale TARDIS. That's nice. One's a rescue project. I don't know how a TARDIS would be a rescue project. Was it like a model that got broke or something? I've got a number of TARDISes around actually. I've got one on the table here, which is it's just a toy. I'll show you it now. So this is a Bluetooth speaker, right? So you can charge it in the sockets, you can switch it on and stuff. It's got working lights on the top and the things. It's got Bad Wolf on the back. This is obviously the Eccleston style. But I won this. Yes, Matt, I should do a K9 video because I've been working on full-size K9 parts in cardboard, haven't I? And I still haven't done anything with that. I won this from Big Finish. They did a voiceover competition, and I sent in a couple of clips of me voicing Blake and Avon from Blake 7, and I won this. And what else did I win? A Doctor Who phone charger, a wireless phone charger. This is awesome, right? It looks like a crappy little piece of plastic, but if I switch this on, the bass that comes out of this is insane. Fiberglass, yeah, it's fixable. Fiberglass stuff is fixable, and 1/6 scale. That's going to be like that, isn't it? I mean, I've got the one up there, the one that came with the like the collectible cards that opens up. You take the lid off and whatever. And it's a Matt Smith kind of styly. But my favourite TARDIS is actually Paul McGann's one. It's darker blue and it's got the white windows. And no, it doesn't have white windows. Sorry, Peter Cushing has white windows. So does Matt Smith's. But I know this is the Ed Thomas style, the Christopher Eccleston. With the wood grain, which I've always thought was weird because the only wooden part of a police box is the door, which is made of teak, and everything else is made out of moulded concrete. And I love them so much. Did I ever see a police box in real life? I've seen similar retardis. Yeah, I've seen. I've yet to go to Newport to see the police box up there, which isn't one of these, but it's similar, and it got restored as well. It was falling to pieces. It had some sort of concrete damage and concrete sort of mold or rot or whatever, and they fixed it. And I haven't been up to the Critch tramway. I've been past it, but I've seen it like looking out the car window, going, "Hey, there's this police box," But I've never got to see a real police box in real life, and I must do something about that. Well, we're still on 4 viewers, which I'm assuming is Paul, Matt, Richard, and Problem Being, and maybe even myself. I don't know, but I think I should stop now because if the chats go on for too long, I usually just delete it because no one's going to sit through an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of chat on my YouTube channel. But an hour, you never know. I may leave it up and stuff. We'll see how it goes. So, although it looks like I've got jaundice because I've got a ring light here and another light here and the big light on, so I'm burning through the electricity like crazy, which I can't afford, I will love you and leave you guys. So thank you to everyone who has been watching. I just needed a ramble. Gosh, noisy, innit? Traffic outside. I needed a ramble. I needed to interact with people. I've been very hermity recently, and it's nice to to interact, even though it's kind of one way, etc. and stuff. But I will see you guys very soon. And Paul, we shall talk about a bit of a collab, and it's a good night from me, and it's a good night from Paul. Anyway, guys, I will see you soon, and I'm going to end this stream, and I will catch you. The next video coming up is another unboxing, and that's on Tuesday. So